Okay, class, today we are going to be learning about the new app that we have already talked about. It's called Nearpod. It's also a web-based app. Many of you should already have it on your mobile devices or your just regular tablets, things like that, that you bring to class. Well, on our class blog, I explained that we are going to be going through Nearpod, learning about how to use this. So now's the time to already have your Nearpod app open, ready to get started. This, like I said, it is just a demonstration, almost like practice of what we're going to be doing in class. So this isn't going to be the exact one we're going to do in our classroom, but this is a practice one. Okay, so you have your app open on your device. You see now it says join a session, and on my screen right over here we have the session ID. So go ahead and type that session ID in. I'm going to let you go ahead and do that, and that's going to bring us to the same exact Nearpod that I have right now. So then you are going to click the arrow to join the session, and it now should say starting presentation on your app. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Okay, our butterfly unit, Miss Federke's class. You see that on your app. I'm going to go ahead to the next slide, which is going to bring you to the next slide on your device. So we now see, there we go, that you have your student name. Go ahead and type in your student name. So I'm just going to type in Miss Federke, and then go ahead and click on submit when you're done. And I'll tell you thank you. And now it shows up on my screen as Miss Federke. So that way I see everyone's results from what we are going to be doing. So don't think that I won't know what is going to be going on, so you can't just play around. Okay, I'm going to go to the next slide now, and that's going to show up on your device. It says monarch butterfly. What are some things, oops, that's an error Miss Federke made. What are some things you have learned about the monarch butterfly? So at this point, we would have a class discussion talking about the things you learned about the monarch butterflies. So think about that. What are some of the things you have learned about the monarch butterfly? Well, since we are doing this as a practice, I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next slide. That's going to show up on your device. Okay, it says, now you should see on your device a big picture of a butterfly. Not yet on mine because I'm still waiting for my drawing to show up. So it says circle the antennas. So I want you to go ahead and take your finger on your app, just like you're doing Paint Buddy or any of those apps. You're going to go ahead and circle the antennas. And once you have circled it, you're going to click the button send on your device, and it's going to say confirm. Do you want to send this drawing? If you're ready to send it, hit yes. And now it's awaiting right here on my screen. It said thank you. Now let's see. Now mine is loading. There we go. I can now see what Miss Federke did. She went ahead and circled. So when it is time for our class to do the whole project, I will see everyone's name and if you circled the right thing and all of that. Remember, this is only a practice one. Okay, next slide. If you were a monarch butterfly, would you rather eat nectar or milkweed plants? Okay, so I see on my own device the same exact question. I'm going to go ahead, and it's a poll. There's no right answer. I'm going to go ahead and click on what I would rather eat if I was a butterfly. So I would rather eat milkweed plants. So I clicked milkweed plants. I'm going to submit that. And it says thank you. Okay, now it's just loading. Okay, and it shows me Miss Federkey selected A. I see A over here is milkweed plants. Next slide. It's a web page. Okay, and on my app, I can go ahead and click that and bring that up. And on your device, it brings you to YouTube and it shows you the complete life cycle of the monarch butterfly. So I could go ahead and click that and it shows the video. Oh, it's an ad that came up, guys. Okay, and it shows the complete life cycle of a monarch butterfly. So you would go ahead and watch that video. But since it's just a practice, we're not going to watch it. Okay, back to Nearpod. I'm going to click on the next slide for you guys. Okay, and it should show up just like this, Painted Lady Butterfly. What are some of the things you have learned about the Painted Lady Butterfly? This is another class discussion. We would go ahead and talk about that in our class discussion. Okay, next slide. Label as many parts as you can of the Painted Lady Butterfly. And on your screen, on your app, on your mobile device, it should show the picture of the Painted Lady Butterfly. So you're going to do exactly what you did before. You're going to take your finger and you're going to label the different parts. So over here, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly label it and do that really quick for you guys just as an example. Then I'm going to send it when I'm done and I'm going to confirm yes, and it's awaiting the drawing, so I'm going to be able to see what you drew. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, and on mine I have labeled the body and wing. Okay, and of course I know you guys are super smart, you're going to label so many more parts. The next one, what stage in the Painted Lady life cycle would you rather be in? It's another poll, there's no right answer. So I'm going to go ahead and I'd rather be an adult butterfly. So I'm going to click that and submit. And it's going to load. And then it'll tell me, Miss Federkey chose D. And D is the adult butterfly. The next slide. It's going to be another video over the Painted Lady Butterfly, how it develops and emerges in a fast time lapse. So we're not going to watch that right now because this is just an example. Remember, we're going to do this in class, but it's going to be a little different. So we're going to go to the next slide, and it's a quiz. Now that we have completed our unit, we will be taking a quiz to find out how much you have learned. So we're going to go to the next slide. And the quiz is going to get started on your mobile device. It's going to say ready to take a quiz, and you're going to click go. And it says what emerges from a butterfly egg, and then you're going to go ahead and you're just going to click your answers. You're going to the next one, and then what is another name for a pupa, and you're just going to keep clicking. Do butterflies eat solid food? You're just going to keep going through. I want you to just keep going. Okay, and my quiz is almost over. It says tap next to submit your final answers, or tap back to review your answers. I'm going to hit next. There we go. And remember, it's just an example. None of the answers have to be right because we're going to be doing this in class. So I have all the answers on my screen. It's going to show me your score once we do this. The next one, if we could research about different kinds of butterflies, would we want to conduct more research? You're going to tell me yes or no. What do you think? I think yes. So I'm going to submit that. Say thank you. Okay, and that shows up. What did I say? I said yes. Okay. Okay. Miss Federkey is having a little user error. Oh, no, I'm not. We are at the end. Okay, so you're going to click the next button up at the top. You're going to see a little arrow at the top right-hand screen right hand side of your screen, and it's going to say exit presentation. Are you sure you want to leave this presentation? So you're just going to hit yes, and that is the end. And this is exactly what we are going to be doing in class today. And I hope you guys learned as much as you could. Remember, you could always go back and view this presentation. Okay, thank you so much, guys. And thank you, parents, for being there to help your child. And I will see you in class.